Hi, I'm Craig Galloway. I'm from Trace and Save. We're a sustainable agriculture company that's been working with pasture-based dairy farmers for many years in South Africa. We'd like to share with you our new app that we've developed, which we hope will be of great value to farmers. It's called Sustainable Precision System, or SPS for short. And the idea with the app is that it would be a tool that farmers can use for good decision making. We can tap on one of the camps again. So we are able here to see any event that's been created for that camp for the last 14 days, whether it's irrigation, insecticide application, herbicide application, spraying of some other chemicals, fertilizers. Those are the actions that have, or the events that have been recorded for that camp, and we can record any new event. So if I, by way of example, decide to say that there's been a fertilizer application on this camp, and my type of fertilizer that I've applied, there's a long list of all the fertilizers that you can search for. So I'm saying I've applied LAN to that camp at 80 kilograms per hectare. The cost of that LAN was 9,500. I can add a note if I want, and I can save that, and it will create that event for that camp onto the phone. And if you sync, it will go onto fourth quadrant, and you'll be able to view it there too. You can also create irrigation events. So I can, by way of example, add here, I've irrigated, or not a meters cubed, but 20 millimeters of irrigation on 15 hectares of that camp, and I save that, and that records that irrigation event. I zoom back in and I tap on one of the camps. I can then also create grazing events. So here I can see a list of all the different grazing events that have taken place on that camp over the last while, or I can create a new grazing event. So I can use my Team 1 animals on that camp, date in, date out today, what the height in, it will pull it through from the height that's available for that camp today. I can also override that if I go and assess the pasture and see that there's more, and I fill in a height out for that camp, how many animals grazed, what the average weight of those animals were, what the NDF was of that pasture, and how many hectares I actually allocated to those animals today, where it will show me what the kilogram I've allocated and what dry mass I've allocated per hectare. And I can save that, and that is now saved as a grazing event for that camp for that day. If I go back to the menu for the specific camp, I can also make a note, and this just gives farmers the opportunity to make any note that they'd like to make from that camp for that day, and you can record whatever you want. I'm just going to say test there, don't need to, but it creates that as a note, and those are all marked on the date, so you can go back and see what you might have observed on that camp on that date. So yeah, those are the features that we have per camp at the moment. We really do believe that these will help you with your decision making. The last thing I want to emphasize one thing before I show you the last one, is that the sync button, it's of very significant importance that the sync feature or capability is used regularly, because what the sync does is it takes whatever information you filled in on your phone and it feeds it to the database where everything is stored, that it can communicate back to fourth quadrant, but also make sure that that's safely recorded. If you'd like to view what you filled in on your phone on fourth quadrant, you'll have to sync your phone and then sync on fourth quadrant. If you want to view what you filled in on fourth quadrant on your phone, then you sync on your computer and you sync on your phone, and the data will feed through. That's a really important aspect of how this works.